So I tested the Loaded Fathom for the last 2 weeks. And there are things about it I liked and things about it I didn't like. Basically, there are 3 things that I consider right now. The wheels, the trucks, and the deck. I don't think it's necessary to argue about the brackets. They are the main novelty of the Loaded Fathom, so let's keep them that way. Okay, let's start with the trucks, because I think there are not so many significant changes. I tried a Poppy as a front truck, didn't like it. The wheelbase is rather short, so that was not enjoyable. I didn't even consider wider trucks. It would make the board a little bit more stable, but at the cost of maneuverability, and I didn't want to do that. So that's my conclusion for the trucks. You can leave them as they are quite fine. You might want to change the bushings though. The more interesting parts are the deck and the wheels. And for the wheels, I actually removed the dad boards. They're quite fun, but they add a whole centimeter of height to the deck. And while they are actually quite fun to ride, they are also quite heavy. They weigh about 420 grams per wheel, which adds up. Trust me, this board is hard to carry. And for a commuter, that's pretty much important. You will not be riding all the time. You might have to take the train, you might want to store it, and you can't ride all the time fluently. So having a heavy board is pretty annoying. So I swapped with the 85mm speed vents. And what shall I say? It's still very stable, but way easier to carry. Also, you generate speed faster. So you gain fast acceleration, lower ride height, lower weight, but you lose stability. If that's a trade-off worth to you, I might consider switching to smaller wheels. And for the last part, the deck. When I reviewed the Loaded Fathom, I said that the deck was quite heavy. Turns out, I was wrong. I compared it to the Pantheon Bandito, and guess what? It's just marginally heavier, by 50 grams. And when you go with the Pantheon Bandito, you get wheel bite when using the dad boards. If you like the flares in the Loaded Fathom, the deck is alright. It is not as durable, or at least it doesn't feel as durable as the Pantheon Bandito, because the loaded deck is just wood, but it does its job kinda well. So if you have no issues, I would stay with the loaded deck. So if you want to actually assemble a board, I would go with the Loaded Fathom deck, or an old deck that you want to repurpose. The Z brackets, trucks, you can basically choose whatever you want, but the supplied Paris trucks are fine, although they might not be Paris V3 trucks. My V3 trucks have the V3 logo branded on them. The ones on the Loaded Fathom don't have that. You might want to change the bushings, according to your preference. And for wheels, you either choose the Kagyu Amos, the 85mm from Orangutan, or you go with speed vents. For my opinion, I prefer the speed vents, but both are quite fine. So after 2 weeks, this is my opinion on the Loaded Fathom. If you want to know what I did with the Orangutan dad boards that were supplied with it, feel free to watch the next video. Bye!